All right. Hello everyone. Mic check. Is everything is fine? Cool. So in our previous video, we were able to add one middleware which is human in the loop. Uh, Let me show you event policy. Oh, it's middleware here in chat after agent invoke. So let me go back here and we search for an agent invoke, not here, but the definition of our agent here. In memory save, send email, PII middleware, check pointer in memory. So this send email will be nothing but an action. If we send our prompt with given action, that time this will trigger our human in the loop, right? Anyways, till now I'm not completely sure is it implemented correctly or not. So I will not talk much about this. Once I have much confidence on human in the loop, then we will talk about it. But yeah, we will later on explore same thing again. Fine. So for now, our aim is to understand how the context is being used in our chatbot. Currently, we have not implemented any chat context, but as you can see, this is a check pointer. This is something in the lang graph, which I recently got to know. And this is nothing but saving our context. For now, I'll just disable it and I'll rerun my server, API server. So let's rerun. And now let's go back to our, I don't know why it's not working. Let me restart our UI also. Streamlit. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. Again, just to tell you like from where this came from, this decision came from to comment this out. I just try to understand, are we maintaining any context so that our LLM knows um, what we have asked previously. So ideally we have not implemented anything explicitly, right? But still, while I was testing it, I got to know that it is remembering our previous inputs and outputs. So that's why I just tried to search, and I got to know that this in-memory saver is coming from a LangChain, LangGraph, and that is helping with LangGraph. Not sure how, because we have not started our LangGraph yet, but somehow it is helping LangGraph to remember the things, and this is playing a crucial role in human in the loop, which is working partially in our case, but not completely. So we might explore this again later on. But for now, let's just try to understand what is status of our context management for our AI applications. So here you can see we have a chat with AI, and I'll just try to write some queries where I'll try to give some context to my AI agent, and I will try to understand if after 4 or 5 messages, will it remember the same thing. Okay, so let's just try that. So I said I am a vegetarian. Just forgive me if I make any spelling mistakes. I always do. Uh, I'm a vegetarian and I'm planning to visit, let's say, Vietnam. And just to confuse LLM, I will write what is capital of Vietnam, right? So although I have provided information about my choice of eating, but still in the same query, I try to just confuse this LLM. Okay. Now, obviously, when I post this, I have already provided information about myself. But since we have not we have not we are not adding any, we are not maintaining any context, I highly doubt that this chatbot will remember about my food choice that I'm vegetarian. I'll write couple of queries just to confuse or add more context to that chat, and later on we will ask like what food I can have in Vietnam. Let's see what it suggests. Okay, so here's the thing. Um, Another thing, let's say what are famous places in Vietnam. Perfect. So it has given me, okay, this gave me like all the famous places. Perfect. Okay, all right. After this, let's say suggest better famous food in Vietnam. Let's see if it suggests me vegetarian food or non-vegetarian food. Okay, noodles, fresh vegetable, sizzling pancakes, garnishes, egg cake. Popular street food, especially in the typically grilled in a pork chop. Okay, so now if you see this answer carefully, right, it has also suggested me some non-vegetarian options like grilled pork, right? Also eggs. So this clearly means that the message that I have sent LLM before in chat, it is not maintaining context of it, right? So that is something we'll need to solve. Otherwise, our chatbot will be just dumb chatbot. Whatever the question we are asking, it is answering, but it doesn't have complete context of what are we saying, right? Now, if I ask, let's try one more example. Who is Virat Kohli? Or let's say Virat Kohli is my favorite, right? All right. Now I'll ask couple of dumb questions. Let's say, what is capital of India? Best food to have in India, right? Who is Virat? What is, let's say, favorite food of Virat? Oh, I think Virat Kohli is decent. Uh, Not decent. But Virat Kohli is like hugely popular personality. So when I say Virat, always it goes first to Virat Kohli. But if there are like two persons with the same name but different surnames, you can try it out with that example, and just try to ask about him. And in previous messages, see if that LLM answers you with the context that you provided previously. Okay. Currently, with the first example, we are clear that it is not understanding it. But when I'll uncomment this out, right? Let me restart my server. Oh, I restarted our UI also. Close this one. All right. I'll try to ask same set of. Let me close this one. Let me duplicate. Okay. And I'll try to ask same examples what we have asked here. Right. Let me log in first. Cool. I don't know why, but it's slow. Most probably it's overheating. Let's say admin, then admin, login, My first question is same what I have asked. Then I'll copy this one also. Then I'll copy this one, the last one, which is really important. Okay, and we'll try to differentiate between this. Okay, it still asks me, it still answers me with the same example like pork, bin, lettuce, harbor. Since you mentioned you are vegetarian, okay, yeah. Now it you can see, if you see, there's a great difference. Earlier, it didn't recognize my choice of food, right? But now here it is remembering my vegetarian choice. So what we understood, we understood that in memory is somehow managing our previous chat history. So with this live we will try to understand how this in memory is working, or is it something that is sufficient for our context management, or we need to find some other way uh, to manage our context. I'm pretty sure there are different strategies and different ways to manage the context. So for now, I'm just saying, like, whatever the choices we have, is this in memory saver sufficient? Okay, and how long this memory persists? Most probably it is a RAM memory. It won't persist for long, but whatever it is, like, we'll try to understand its limitations and its use cases. Let's go ahead. LangGraph, the memory saver is a built-in checkpoint that temporarily stores agent execution states like conversation history in your system RAM. It's strictly used for fast local prototyping, testing, debugging, rather than for production environment. Okay. Okay. It's not ready for production environment. Short-term memory, it tracks and saves the conversation steps and assign them unique IDs. This allows the agent to hold multi-turn context without restarting. All right. Time travel debugging, because it saves the snapshot of graph state at every step. You can reply, review, and fog them. Most probably, it is working well with LangGraph, right? So Langsmith, when moving from AI agents to a production environment, you should replace in memory with persistent database check pointers to ensure the data survives server restarts. Okay. So that means if I restart this my server, this memory will be gone. Okay. Anyways, it's fine. But like, is it sufficient? Is it sufficient? And is there any limit for this memory? Okay. Obviously, we need to understand like um, how how much memory or how much context it can save. Okay. It cannot be shared. Perfect. Limits. And one more thing we understood this is created for testing, not for your production environment. And it cannot be scaled. Since this is a RAM, so it cannot be scaled. Memory management, it does not automatically clear or prune the old data without manual logic. It deletes the old thread. Okay. Thread safety, while the handles the internal storage, it's generally confined to single thread process, and it's not built to handle the concurrency demands of high traffic. Oh, okay. So that means It wouldn't survive in the case when there are multiple sources of inputs, and you have to manage that memory. So it's not the right choice for your memory management. Anyways, so what I understood is this in memory is for your local development. Okay, and we can't use this in production. So let's see what all other options we have for our memory management. How to maintain or manage a context in LangChain. Context engineering, which is fine. Short-term memory conversation history, all right. What else we have? Context engineering and agent, context management of deep agents, context strategies, context management of deep agents. Okay, anyways. Yeah, it is suggesting something markdown file, offloading large tool results, responses from tool invocations. All right, context engineering. uh, To fix your context engineering tools in LangGraph. How the tool will manage that? Summarization of middleware, multi-agent. Okay, I think I like this one. The way it works is, let's just try to understand this. Summarization of middleware. So what I'm understanding from this concept is our middleware will have one middleware which will summarize whatever is being asked in the previous chats, and it will try to summarize it and store it either in RAM or some markdown file or somewhere. If we want it persistent, we can use a markdown file. But the thing is, this way we will be able to store our context, and whenever user will ask query next time, we can fetch data from that context. You see this summarization middleware. What is this? Is it a, oh, it's coming from LangChain. Perfect. I think we should try this one. Summarize the conversation history when the token limits are approached. Okay. This middleware monitors message token counts and automatically summarize older message when the threshold is reached. Fine. So it is triggering when certain in certain conditions. That's what I understood. So okay, there are triggers. So trigger will be context size or list of context size. What is this list of context size? Okay, I think we can pass an array. Anyways, so context size is just a number. None. Keep context size message default message to keep. Token counter. Okay. Count of tokens. What it does? I don't know. Summary prompt. Default summary prompt. Okay. Default summary prompt. So do we need to provide any prompt to summarizer? Well, I don't know. Let's search. Let me get an overview. Okay, we got example also. Summarizer middleware. Overview is fine, but yeah, let's just build a customer support handoff, context engineering, agents, pre-built middleware. Okay, summarization. Okay, cool. Long running conversation that exceeds when. Okay, fine. Let's just try to implement this from LangChain dot agents. Anyways, I'll just copy paste it. It's a big word. Perfect. Then your tool, with the tool, no, we don't need this tool. Summarizer. Summarizer should create agent. Let's find create agent, and under this middleware, okay, PII middleware, where is P? Okay, this one. All right, I think let me control Z it, and then I'll write my middleware here itself. Here. And here we will use, but it's good that we have model options, because we can use some like low cost model to summarize our context, because if we use high cost models, then it might cost us a lot. So let me summarize this. Tokens is 400. Keep the messages, let's say keep 20 messages. um, let's say 4 messages, and number of tokens, let's say, let's keep it a 100, 1000. Gemini 2.0 Flash. Anyways, let's just try to understand this, right? Now let me, do I need to do anything else? Summarization overview, token, full name. Mm, I think it should be good, since this is a middleware. Call limit middleware. Okay, anyways, this should be good, I guess. Where is where's the UI? You don't have it? Yeah, here. Yeah, okay, here is the UI. Okay, now what I need to do is, let me restart this. Let me make sure that I've already uncommented that in memory. Yeah, it's already commented. That's perfect. Now let's just refresh it. I'll try the same example what we have tried before, but now with this time I have, this time I have, wait, what? I do not have, oh, I cannot directly provide this. Can I use LLM here also? Where is the LLM? This is my LLM, and I need to bring this up a little bit up here, and then in my middlewares, I'll just try to use this LLM here. Hope this will work. All right, it's working. Now my first query is this one. Capital of I know. Okay. Capital of okay. Second question. Third query is important one. Crispy sort of cake. Beef. Oh ho ho ho. No, it's not. It's not managing. No, no, it's not. It's not at all managing our context. Why? You know what? If I have I have verbose option. Let's try LangChain dot verbose true. Could not fetch that. What is this? Let's refresh. LangChain is not defined. Okay, connection error, port number. Okay, nothing is running on port number 900. Something is wrong. I think because of this slowness. Uh, okay, cool. We delete this. No, wait, what? Keywords, something is wrong. Server process is at 98008. Now, if I, okay, it's running, login, refresh again. Okay, admin, perfect. Now, what are we trying actually? We have, um, we have, we have context, but our context is not being used. Now we've just used this verbose, so our expectation is it might give some extra output. Let's see. All right, nothing is here. You know what? I should integrate observability first. I think it should be easy to integrate. Let's integrate observability, so it will be easy for us to track like what is going on from this context and how the query is being managed. Otherwise, it will be really hard. We will be keep on guessing, but will not have any idea. Ideally, when I have integrated this, right, middleware, where is that? Streaming chatbot, um, this one, summarization middleware. Ideally, it should read messages. Let's say 10. What was that before? Do we have an example of it? I think let's go back. Summarization. Okay, let's try to understand how it works. So, auto summary conversation history, when approach token limits preserving context message while compressing older context, summarization is used for following long running conversations that exceeds the context window, multi turn dialogue with extensive history. Okay, configure options, max input tokens. They should have API reference. They should have give us some reference like what is this trigger. Trigger is fine, like I understood. Trigger will be nothing but the context summarization will trigger at this particular threshold. I'm not sure like how summary prompts. Okay, summary prompt, is it important? Is it important summary? You are a helpful assistant. Summarize the history in concise manner. Okay, I think that should be one. And I also want to understand how is it sufficient? Is this setup to remember context of my previous chat? Let's just try to understand. Is it good? Reading main.py to verify the summary middleware setup summarization long term. Okay. Uh, do we see anything else here? Nothing yet. Okay. Reading. Okay. A summary prompt. Okay. It just formatted it. Fine. Reading on summary long term point checking. Okay. It's fine. Fixing syntax error summary. Okay. Here is a distilled answer. What summarization will does? It does not implement remember my last chat by itself. It compress history after the already exist in the agent state. Then the estimate tokens go pass over 1,000. Older turns are turned into a summary, and you keep the last 10 messages. So it's for long conversation, fit context window. What is actually enabled previous chat? Okay, okay. Not sir. Remember last turn to several process. Very long helps once the history exists. Restart in memory checkpoints is gone unless you are use persistent checkpoint. Example DB. Fix. Understood. I completely understood this process. Bottom line is, for remembering prior chats in this app, summarization middleware is not a sufficient by itself. Turn the check pointer in memory saver back on, or use a persistent storage. Okay, okay. We might need to go for persistent storage, but then what is use of this thing, right? I don't know. What summer? Give me one example. Okay, I think this should be good. Give me sample inputs for this to test s- summarization. Your middleware fires when the estimated. Okay, 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 okay. I think this is really important, chat. Your middleware fires when the estimated conversation token exceeds 1000. Then it summarizes the older stuff and keeps the last 10 messages to trigger that. Okay, okay. Let's just try it. Okay. I need to restart my server because it has made some syntax changes. Now write 400 words. Okay, I am documenting a fake product call author long chat style sequence more realistic. What if we keep, instead of like 1000 tokens, if we reduce it, let's say 1000 token is too much, or is it's not? Let's see. So admin, then admin. All right, I'll remember that. Then I am planning to trip Tokyo, Osaka. This is my second chat. So my name is Session in Queen. Remember it. Okay. Day by day outline. Fly out. Expand each city into bullet list and neighborhood, and why. List with neighborhoods. Okay. Dietary constraints. Yeah. So here we're just trying to give information about ourselves, like where are we going, what is our eating preferences. Then transport. Okay. Okay. Oh, here it lost me. See, city, morning, afternoon, and evening. From memory as a table. Repeat the full eternity. Okay. This is something not good. Do not have access to specific memory. All right. Compress everything learns into a pickles. What is my name? Okay, yeah. What is my name and the three cities in order? I don't have access to past conversations. Cannot remember. Why? Hmm. Checking your agent setup rely usually means the model isn't received prior message is commented out, so the chat request sends only the new messages, no prior turns. Okay. Why you saw that is the checkpointer doubled. Each call was effectively a new conversation, only the latest message. Um, but still, then if it doesn't require my pre if it requires this in memory saver, then it's working directly. I don't need this summarizer, right? um Using in memory saver is already remembering my previous chat. So what is use case of this summarizer, right? Okay. A memory saver answer, do we have prior turns available in the next request? It stores the checkpoint state, including the full message list for a thread ID while the process runs. Summarize memory, yes, the history is too long. How do we fit it into a model's context without dropping everything? Okay. When the summarization matters, short chats, find full history, in memory saver clue. Summarization, little benefit. Older turns get compressed into a summary. Recent messages stay. Your config last keeps the recent details plus. Okay. So memory is equal to remember. Summarization is equal to remember cheaply and within token limits when the thread gets big. Okay. Okay. Your knobs trigger is equal to tokens is 100. After roughly 100, 1000 conversations, token of conversations, the library estimates it and triggers the tide of send with. Okay, fine. So for the time being, I will keep this at around 600 tokens. Let me restart it and let me refresh this again. All right. I don't know why it's too much slow. It's working now. All right. Uh, Let me try this again. Refresh this. Okay. Let's provide our username, admin, login. Cool. First message is this. Then I'm planning trip to Tokyo. Dietary constraints that I'm a vegetarian. Now, a sixth question is gonna be crucial one. If it remembers our memory, it will give me table. Otherwise, it will fail saying I cannot access previous chats. But it seems like it is doing something. Let's wait for a while. I receive result as a none. Okay, let's move on to next chat. Oh, wait. It remembered my name. Oh, that's nice. All right, Quinn, that sounds like a fantastic and well structured trip. Here is a detailed outline of addressing. Oh, that's perfect. So, okay, let me tell you what's happening now. But still, we need to understand like what is the difference between that summarization middleware and um, the one that we use. What's that? Yeah, in memory. So we need to understand checkpointer. But yeah, it seems that it is remembering my name and everything because in my first chat, I tried to pass like this my name and remember it. And these are the cities I'm going to travel in Japan. And in after some queries, we ask, okay, uh, just create a travel plan for me, and it able to generate all this output if with remembering my name. So that's impressive. So we kind of managing our context using summarization middleware and more importantly checkpointer. Now let's try to understand this. Although I've searched about this in our previous chats here, several kind of context. Yes, yeah, I don't know the business pronunciation also. Okay, let's try to understand what is difference between this summarization middleware and in memory pointer, in memory saver. Okay, let's see. Tell me difference between in memory saver and summarization middleware, because I'm not clear like what's the use case. Okay, checkpointer handles the state persistence, whereas the summarization middleware handle context and memory compression. Both are vital to LangChain or LangGraph, but they operate at a different layers of your agent workflow. Okay, what it does in memory saver, let's understand what it does. It is a persistent layer that saves your exact state of your agent, all messages, tool outputs, and variable state in your RAM. It enables time travel, allowing your agent to purpose, resume, or backtrack and handle human in the loop approvals. Example, stopping an agent to get the manager's approval. Okay, understood this. So it is nothing but storing our nodes in the line graph saver. It's a memory checkpointer that is strictly for local development. For production, you should swap it out for the persistent saver, like SQLite saver or Postgres server. Okay, saver. I don't know what. Sorry, server or saver. So that your conversation memory doesn't wipe out. Okay. We'll try to make some notes here. Notion. Okay. Summarization middleware. What it does, it is processing layer for your agent loop that monitors how many tokens your organization history has taken up. When the history exceeds defined threshold, example for the token, it automatically use an LLM to summarize the old messages. Okay, it acts as a context manager to prevent context overflow instead of deleting the beginning of your long conversations. It compresses the old details so your agent doesn't run out of tokens. How they interact, the summarization middleware doesn't save a state itself. Instead of, it reads the messages stored by your check pointer. Okay, for this check pointer is really important. Generate summary and passes the updated state back to your persistent layer. Okay, so do does that mean to use summarization middleware, I need to enable persistent storage, which is nothing but in memory saver? Does that mean, okay, let's try to understand. No, you do not strictly need to enable checkpointer to use summarization, but in practice, they almost always use together. Okay, live state middleware works on a live state. The middleware intercepts the message currently in the agent active memory right before they send to the LLM. Okay, it can summarize those messages even if they aren't being saved in a database. Check pointer provides the history. If you don't use the check pointer like in memory saver, the agent forgets everything as soon as the current run finishes, and you would only be summarizing the messages from the single current interaction, which defeats the purpose of messaging long term conversation. Cool, cool. Okay, from my understanding, let's I'll just try to explain what I understood. In memory saver is nothing but a checkpoint. It stores everything in that particular state, like right from what output we received from tools, which tool called, what was the input, everything that is related to previous chats, it stores it. I'm sure this must have some limitations also. What context summarizer does is it just summarize the context if it reaches to particular threshold that is being given. So currently we have set it to 800 tokens, and I don't know why, but they are not interlinked. Usually it says like usually people use it together, but it's not mandatory. Then how does middleware um, summarize context if check pointer is off? If the check pointer is off, middleware summarize the context by looking at the epithermal state stored in the your computer RAM during that specific run of agent. A memory message list, when you start your agent run, it maintains a list of messages. Interception, right? Checking threshold. It sends the older message to summary LLM, replace them with a single memory string, and updates the active state list. Without the, I don't know why, but it didn't for me without check pointer. It was not able to remember my messages. We'll try one more thing, right? Earlier, I don't know what was the reason it was not able to detect it, but let's use check pointer again. Let's try one more thing. Okay, let me comment this out, right? Now we have only uh, summarization middleware. Now let me close this one. Let me run it again. Okay, now this time I will, let me refresh. You remember this queries, right? admin. Let's log in. Okay. Yeah. Let's rerun this. Let's refresh. Admin, then admin. My first query is my name is this and that. Cool. Okay, then this is second. This is third message. This is fourth. This is fifth message. Okay. Please provide me with eternity again. Okay. This is something uh, I don't know. It's difficult to understand, but I don't know. Uh, let's see if I try to ask. Okay. If I try to ask when I remove check pointer, summarization, it doesn't work alone. It doesn't work alone. I understood it. This summarization middleware alone cannot cannot store our previous chat history. So for that, it is taking help of a memory saver. So that remembers our previous chat history, tool calls, and everything. History grows past of. Okay. Oh, real history. Only after that, history grows post past. Replace older turns into a summary and keeps the 10 messages. Check pointer. Persist carry this thread's message from the requested to request. Request to request. Summarization. When this thread gets long, does that mean summarization is not working? Summarization currently with this setup not working. Currently not doing this job. Normal multi-turn or chatbot usage. Still true, summarization is registered and can run when the middleware thinks history is over. Without checkpointers, each request only has a turn. This turn message to state history doesn't grow across the request, so you almost never hits that threshold. Does summarizer middleware use history collected by checkpointer? Perfect. Okay, okay, okay. I think I understood this. I'll try to explain with Excel raw. See what it does. We have this chatbot. Now we have our agent here. Not agent, sorry. We have this user here. This is our user. Now when user asks some query, it goes to our chatbot. Chatbot responds back. Chatbot responds back with an answer. Now every time when we hit API to send our query to our chatbot, so every time summarization middleware, let me try to draw something. Okay. So this middleware, first limitation with it is it doesn't remember old chats. That's the first statement. It doesn't remember our old chats, which I think this check pointer does. Let me uncomment this. This is my second thing. Check pointer holds memory in graph to store this details. So basically it is maintaining chat history. Check pointer maintain chat history. All right. Um, what it does? What else it can do? It only summarized previous chat if given threshold triggered. That is another case. Um, and then third about this is it also uses history collected by checkpointer in a chat. That why it doesn't work without in memory without checkpoint enable. All right, so yeah, I think I understood this. Let me put this into our notes also. Fine, I'll ask AI to improve writing. Anyways, so I think yeah, so anyhow we have some memory remembering it, we have maintained some context, but obviously this context is not sufficient since this is not persistently stored anywhere. If we log out or even if we refresh our window, this context is lost, or even if our server is restarted, obviously that context is lost. So we have to find some way where we can store our context persistently. That we'll have to explore next. But I think that's it for this live.